point I was playing, Lane?
I didn't think it polite to listen, sir.
I'm sorry to hear that. For your sake. I don't play accurately. Anyone can play accurately. And when I play with a wonderful expression. As far as the piano is concerned, sentiment is my forte. I keep science for life.
Yes, sir.
Oh, speaking of science of life, have you got the cucumber sandwiches cut for Lady Bracknell?
Yes, sir.
Oh, by the way, Lane, I see from your book that on Thursday night, when Lord Shoreman and Mr. Worthing were dining with me, 8 bottles of champagne are entered as having been consumed.
Yes, sir. 8 bottles and a pint.
Why is it that at a bachelor's establishment the servants invariably drink the champagne? I ask merely for information.
I attribute it to the superior quality of the wine, sir. I've often observed that in married households, champagne is rarely of a first-rate brand.
Good heavens, is marriage so demoralizing as that?
I believe it is a very pleasant state, sir. I've had very little experience of it myself up to the present. I've only been married once. That was in consequence of a misunderstanding between myself and a young person.
I don't think I care much for your family life, Lane.
No, sir, it is not a very interesting subject. I never think of it myself.
Very natural, I'm sure. That will do, Lane. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Lane's views on marriage seem somewhat lax. Really, if the lower orders can't set us a good example, what on earth is the use of them? They seem, as a class, to have absolutely no sense of moral responsibility.
Mr. Earnest Worthing.
How are you, my dear Earnest? Mwah! What brings you to town?
Oh, pleasure. Pleasure. What else should bring one anywhere? Eating as usual, I see, Algy.
Yes. I believe it is customary in good society to take slight refreshment upon 5 o'clock. Now, tell me, where have you been since Thursday?
In the country.
God, what on earth do you do there?
When one is in town, one amuses oneself. When one is in the country, one amuses other people. It is excessively boring.
And who are these people you amuse?
Oh, neighbours. Neighbours.
Got nice neighbours in your pot of Shropshire?
Perfectly horrid. Never speak to one of them.
Well, how immensely you must amuse them. By the way, Shropshire is your county, is it not?
Eh, Shropshire? Yes, of course. Hello. Why all these cups? Why cucumber sandwiches? Why such reckless extravagance at one so young? Who's coming to tea?
Oh, merely Aunt Augusta and Gwendolen.
How perfectly delightful.
Yes, it's all very well. Except, well, I'm afraid Aunt Augusta won't quite approve of you being here.
May I ask why?
My dear sir, the way that you flirt with Gwendolen is perfectly disgraceful. It's almost nearly as bad as the way that Gwendolen flirts with you.
I am in love with Gwendolen. I have come up to town expressly to propose to her.
I thought you'd come up for pleasure. I call that business.
How utterly unromantic you are.
Oh, I really don't see anything romantic in proposing. It's very romantic to be in love, but there is nothing romantic about a definite proposal. One may be accepted, one usually is, I believe, and then the excitement is all over. The very essence of romance is uncertainty. If I ever get married, I will be certain to forget the fact.
No doubt about that, dear Algy. The divorce court was specially invented for people whose memories are so curiously constituted.
Well, there's no use in speculating on the subject. Divorces are made in heaven. I wish you would not touch the cucumber sandwiches. They are ordered specifically for Aunt Augusta.
Well, you've been eating them all the time.
Well, that is quite a different matter. She is my aunt. Have some bread and butter. The bread and butter is for Gwendolen. Gwendolen is devoted to bread and butter.
And very good bread and butter it is too.
My dear fellow, you need not eat it as if you're going to eat it all. You behave as if you were married to her already. You're not married to her already, and in fact, well, I don't think you ever will be.
Why on earth do you say that?
Well, To begin with, women never flirt with the men that they decide to marry. They don't think it right.
Oh, that is nonsense.
It isn't. It is a great truth. It accounts for the extraordinary number of bachelors one sees all over the place. In the second place, well, I don't give my consent.
Your consent.
My dear fellow, Gwendolen is my first cousin, and before I allow you to marry her, you will have to clear up this whole question of Cecily.
Cecily? What on earth do you mean? What do you mean, Algy, by Cecily? I don't know anyone of the name of Cecily.
Bring me the cigarette case Mr. Worthing left in the smoking room last time he dined here.
Do you mean to say you've had my cigarette case all this time? I wish to goodness you'd told me. I've been writing frantic letters to Scotland Yard about it. I was very nearly offering a large reward.
Well, I wish you would offer one. I happen to be more than usually hard up.
There's no good offering a large reward now that the thing's found.
That's really mean of you, Ernest, I must say. However, it makes no difference, for now that I look at the inscription inside, I find the thing isn't yours after all.
Of course it's mine. You've seen me with it 100 times. And you've no right whatsoever to read what is written inside. It is a very ungentlemanly thing to read a private cigarette case.
Oh, it is absurd to have a hard and fast rule about what one should read and what one shouldn't. More than half of modern culture depends on what one shouldn't read.
I am quite aware of that fact, and I don't propose to discuss modern culture. It isn't the sort of thing one should talk of in private. I simply want my cigarette case back.
Yes, but this isn't your cigarette case. This cigarette case is a present from someone with the name of Cecily, and you said you didn't know anyone of that name.
Well, if you want to know, Cecily happens to be my aunt.
Your aunt?
Yes. Charming old lady too, lives at Tunbridge Wells. Just give it back to me when
Yes, but why does she call herself Little Cecily if she's your aunt and lives in Tunbridge Wells?
My dear fellow, what on earth is there in that? Some aunts are tall, some aunts are not tall. That is a matter that surely an aunt may be allowed to decide for herself. You seem to think that every aunt should be exactly like your aunt.
That is absurd. For heaven's sake, give me back my cigarette case.
Yes, but why does your aunt call you her uncle? From little Cecily, with her fondest love, to her dear Uncle Jack. I may admit there's no objection to an aunt being a small aunt, but why an aunt, no matter what size she may be, they call her own nephew her uncle? I can't quite make it out. Besides, your name isn't Jack at all, it's Ernest.
It isn't Ernest, it's Jack.
You've always told me it was Ernest. I have introduced you to everyone as Ernest. You answer to the name of Ernest. You look as if your name was Ernest. You're the most earnest-looking man I have ever seen in my life. It is absurd you saying your name isn't Ernest. Look, it's on one of your cards. Here's one of them. Mr. Ernest Worthing, B4, the Albany. I will keep this as proof that your name is Ernest if ever you attempt to deny it to me or to Gwendolen or to anyone else.
Well, my name is Ernest in town and Jack in the country, and the cigarette case was given to me in the country.
Yes, but that does not account for the fact that your small Aunt Cecily, who lives in Tunbridge Wells, calls you her uncle. Old boy, you would much better have it all out at once.
My dear Algy, you talk exactly as if you were a dentist. It's very vulgar to talk like a dentist when one isn't a dentist. It produces a false impression.
Well, that is exactly what dentists always do. Now go on. Tell me the whole thing. I may mention that I have always suspected you of being a secret and confirmed Bunburyist, and I'm quite sure of it now.
Bunburyist? What on earth do you mean by a Bunburyist?
I will reveal to you the meaning of that wonderful and incomparable expression as soon as you are kind enough to inform me why you are Ernest in town and Jack in the country.
Well, produce my cigarette case first.
Here it is. Now, produce your explanation and pray make it improbable.
My dear boy, there's nothing improbable about my explanation at all. In fact, it's rather ordinary. Old Mr. Thomas Cardew, who adopted me when I was a little boy, made me, in his will, guardian to his granddaughter, Miss Cecily Cardinal. Cecily, who addresses me as her uncle, from motives of respect that you could not possibly appreciate, lives at my place in the country under the charge of the admirable governess, Miss Prism.
Oh, well, where's your place in the country, by the way?
That is nothing new, dear boy. You're not going to be invited. And I will tell you quite candidly, the place is not in Shropshire.
Oh, I suspected that, my dear fellow. I have Bunburyed all over Shropshire on 2 separate occasions. Now, tell me, why are you Ernest in town and Jack in the country?
My dear boy, I don't know whether you'll be able to understand my real motives. You are hardly serious enough.
When one is placed in the position of guardian, one must adopt a very high moral tone on all subjects. It is one's duty to do so. And as a high moral tone can hardly be said to conduce very much either to one's health or one's happiness, in order to come up to town, I have invented a younger brother of the name of Earnest, who lives in the Albany and gets into the most dreadful scrapes. That, my dear Algy, is the whole truth, pure and simple.
The truth is rarely pure and never simple. Modern life would be very tedious if it were either, and modern literature a complete improbability.
That wouldn't be such a bad thing at all.
Literary criticism is not your forte, my dear sir. Don't try it. You should leave that to people who haven't been at the university. They do it so well in the daily papers. No, what you are is a Bunburyist. I was quite right in calling you a Bunburyist. You're one of the most advanced Bunburyists I've ever seen.
What on earth do you mean?
You have invented a very useful younger brother by the name of Ernest, so that you may be able to go into town whenever you like. I have invented an invaluable, permanent invalid by the name of Bunbury, so that I may be able to go into the country whenever I like. Bunbury is perfectly invaluable. God, if it were not for his extraordinarily bad health, for instance, well, I wouldn't be able to dine with you at Willis's tonight, for I haven't really engaged Aunt Augusta for more than a week.
I haven't invited you to dine with me anywhere tonight.
I know. You are absurdly careless about sending out invitations. It's very foolish of you. Nothing annoys people so much as not receiving invitations.
You had much better dine with your Aunt Augusta tonight.
I haven't the slightest intention of doing anything of the kind. To begin with, I already dine with her on Monday, and once a week is more than enough time to dine with one's own relations. In the second place, well, if I do dine with her, she will treat me as a member of the family and set me down either with no woman at all, or 2. And in the third place, well, I know who she will place me next to tonight. She will place me next to Mary Farquhar, who always flirts with her husband across the dinner table. No, that is not very pleasant. Indeed, that is not even decent. And that sort of behaviour is enormously on the increase nowadays. The amount of women in London who flirt with their own husbands is perfectly scandalous. It looks so bad. It is merely washing one's own clean linen in public. No. Besides, now that I know you to be a confirmed Bunburyist, I want to talk to you all about Bunburying. I want to tell you all the rules.
I'm not a Bunburyist at all. If Gwendolen accepts me, I'm going to kill my brother. Indeed, I think I'll kill him in any case. Cecily is a little too much interested in him. It is rather a bore. So, I'm going to get rid of Ernest, and I would strongly advise you to do the same with with your invalid friend with the absurd name.
Nothing would induce me to part with Bunbury. And if you ever decide to get married, which seems to me extremely problematic, you'd be very glad to know a Bunbury. Any man who marries without knowing Bunbury has a very tedious time of it.
That is nonsense. If I marry a charming girl like Gwendolen, and she's the only girl I ever saw in my life whom I would marry, I certainly won't want to know Bunbury.
Then your wife will. You seem to forget the fact that in married life, 3 is company and 2 is none.
That, my dear young friend, is the theory that the corrupt French drama has been propounding for the last 50 years.
Yes, and the happy English home has proved in half the time.
Oh, for heaven's sake, don't try to be cynical. It is perfectly easy to be cynical.
No, it isn't easy to be anything nowadays. There's such a lot of beastly competition about. That must be Aunt Augusta. Only relatives, or creditors, ever ring in that Wagnerian manner. Now, if I have it in my heart to get Gwendolen or Aunt Augusta out of the room so that you may have the opportunity of proposing to Gwendolen, please, my good sir, may I dine with you at Willis's tonight?
I suppose so if you want to.
Yes, but you must be serious about it. I hate when people are not serious about meals. It's so shallow of them.
Lady Bracknell and Miss Fairfax.
Good afternoon, dear Algernon. I hope you are behaving very well.
I'm feeling very well, Aunt Augusta.
That's not quite the same thing. In fact, the two things rarely go together.
Oh, dear me, you're looking smart.
I'm always smart. Am I not, Mr. Worthing?
You are quite perfect, Miss Fairfax.
Oh, I hope I'm not that. It would leave no room for development, and I intend to develop in many directions.
I'm sorry if we are a little late, Algernon, but I was obliged to call on dear Lady Harbury. I hadn't been there since her poor husband's death. I never saw a woman so altered. She looks quite 20 years younger. Now I'll have a cup of tea and one of those nice cucumber sandwiches you promised me.
Certainly, Aunt Augusta.
Won't you come sit here, Gwendolen?
Thanks, Mamma. I'm quite comfortable where I am.
Lane? Why are there no cucumber sandwiches? I had them ordered specifically.
There were no cucumbers in the market this morning, sir. I went down twice.
No cucumbers?
No, sir. Not even for ready money.
That will do, Lane. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I am greatly distressed, Aunt Augusta, about there being no cucumbers, not even for ready money.
It really makes no matter, Algernon. I had some crumpets with Lady Harbury. Seems to be living entirely for pleasure now.
Yes, it seems her hair has turned quite gold from grief.
It certainly has changed its colour. From what cause, I of course cannot say. Thank you. I have quite a treat for you tonight, Algernon. I'm going to send you down to dinner with Mary Farquhar. She is such a nice woman, and so attentive to her husband. It's delightful to watch them.
I'm afraid I shall have to give up the pleasure of dining with you tonight, Aunt Augusta.
I hope not, Algernon. It would put my table completely out, and your uncle would have to dine upstairs. Fortunately, he is accustomed to that.
It is a great bore, and I hardly need say a terrible disappointment to me, but the fact is that I've just had a telegram saying that my poor friend Bunbury has fallen ill again. They seem to think I should be with him.
It is very strange. This Mr. Bunbury seems to suffer from curiously bad health.
Oh yes, Bunbury is a terrible invalid.
Well, I must say, Algernon, I think it is high time that Mr. Bunbury made up his mind whether he was going to live or to die. This shilly-shallying with the question. Nor do I approve in any way of the modern sympathy with invalids. I consider it morbid. Illness of any kind is hardly a thing to be encouraged in others. Health is the primary duty of life. I'm always telling that to your poor uncle, but he never seems to take much notice as far as any improvement in his ailment goes. But I should be obliged if you would ask Mr. Bunbury from me to be kind enough not to have a relapse on Saturday, for I rely on you to arrange my music for me. It is my last reception, and one wants something that will encourage conversation, particularly at the end of the season when everyone has practically said whatever they had to say, which probably was never much.
I speak to Bunbury, Aunt Augusta, and, well, if he is all right, I think, he'll be conscious by Saturday. The music, however, is a great difficulty, because you see, if one plays good music, well, people don't listen. And if one plays bad music, people don't talk. However, I will run over the program I've drawn out, if you don't mind coming into the next room with me for a moment.
Thank you, Algernon. It is very thoughtful of you. I'm sure the program will be delightful. After a few expurgations. French songs I cannot possibly allow. People always seem to think that they are improper and either look shocked, which is vulgar, or laugh, which is worse. German sounds to me a thoroughly respectable language, and indeed I believe is so. Gwendolen, you will accompany me.
Certainly, Mamma.
Charming day it has been, Miss Fairfax.
Pray don't talk to me about the weather, Mr. Worthing. Whenever people try to talk to me about the weather, I always feel quite certain that they mean something else, and that makes me so nervous.
But I do mean something else.
I thought so. In fact, I am never wrong.
And I would like to be allowed to take advantage of Lady Bracknell's temporary absence.
I would certainly advise you to do so. Mamma has a way of coming back suddenly into a room that I have often had to speak to her about.
Miss Fairfax, ever since I met you, I have admired you more than any other girl I have ever met since I met you.
I am well aware of the fact, and I have often wished that in public, at any rate, you had been more demonstrative. For me, you have always held an irresistible fascination. Even before I met you, I was far from indifferent to you. We live, as I hope you know, Mr. Worthing, in an age of ideals. The fact is constantly mentioned in the more expensive monthly magazines. It has even reached the provincial pulpits, I've been told. And my ideal has always been to marry a man by the name of Earnest. There is something in that name that inspires absolute confidence. The moment Algernon first mentioned that he had a friend called Earnest, I knew I was destined to love you.
You really love me, Gwendolen?
Passionately.
Darling.
My own Earnest.
But you don't mean to say that you couldn't love me if my name wasn't Ernest.
But your name is Earnest.
Yes, I know it is. But supposing it was something else, you mean to say you couldn't love me then?
Ah, this is clearly a metaphysical speculation. And like most metaphysical speculations, has very little basis in the actual facts of real life as we know them.
Personally, darling, to speak quite candidly, I don't much care about the name of Ernest. I don't think the name suits me at all.
It suits you perfectly. It is a divine name. It has a music all its own. It produces vibrations.
Well, really, Gwendolen, I must say that I think there are lots of other much nicer names. I think the name Jack, for instance, a charming name.
Jack. No, there's very little music in the name Jack, if any at all. It does not thrill. It produces absolutely no vibrations. I have known several Jacks, and they were, without exception, more than usually plain. Besides, Jack has a notorious domesticity for the name John. And I pity a poor woman married to a man called John. Why, she would probably never be allowed to know the entrancing pleasure of a single moment's solitude. No, the really only safe name is Earnest.
Gwendolen, I must get christened at once. I mean, we must get married at once. There's no time to be lost.
Married, Mr. Worthing?
Well, surely. You know that I love you. And you led me to believe, Miss Fairfax, that you were not absolutely indifferent to me.
I adore you, but you haven't proposed to me yet. Nothing at all has been said about marriage. The subject has not even been touched on.
Well, may I propose to you now?
I think it an admirable opportunity. And to spare you any possible disappointment, I think it only fair to tell you quite frankly beforehand that I am fully determined to accept you.
Gwendolyn!
Yes, Mr. Worthing, what have you got to say to me?
You know what I've got to say to you.
Yes, but you don't say it.
Gwendolyn, will you marry me?
Of course I will, darling. What a long time you have been about it. I'm afraid you've had very little practice in how to propose.
My own one. I've never loved anyone in the world but you.
Yes, but men often propose for practice. I know my brother Gerald does. All my girlfriends tell me so. What wonderfully blue eyes you have, Ernest. They're quite blue. I hope you will always look at me just like that, especially when there are other people present.
Mr. Worthing, rise, sir, from this semi-recumbent posture. It is most indecorous.
Mamma, I must beg you to retire. This is no place for you. Besides, Mr. Worthing has not quite finished yet.
Finished what, may I ask?
I am engaged to Mr. Worthing, Mamma.
Pardon me, but you are not engaged to anyone. When you do become engaged to someone, I or your father, should his health permit him, will inform you of the fact. An engagement should always come upon a young girl as a surprise. Pleasant or unpleasant, as the case may be. But it is hardly a matter that she could be allowed to arrange for herself. And now I have a few questions to put to you, Mr. Worthing. While I am making with these inquiries, you, Gwendolyn, will wait for me below in the carriage.
Mamma!
In the carriage, Gwendolyn. Gwendolyn, the carriage.
Yes, Mamma.
You can take a seat, Mr. Worthing.
Thank you, Lady Bracknell. I prefer standing.
I feel bound to tell you that you are not down on my list of eligible young men, although I have the same list the dear Duchess of Bolton has. We work together. However, I am quite ready to enter your name, should your answers be what a really affectionate mother requires. Do you smoke?
Well, yes. I must admit I smoke.
I'm glad to hear it. A man should always have an occupation of some kind. There are far too many idle men in London as it is. How old are you?
39.
A very good age to be married. I have always been of the opinion that a man who desires to get married should either know everything or nothing. Which do you know?
Well, I know nothing, Lady Bracknell.
I am pleased to hear it. I do not approve of anything that tampers with natural ignorance. Ignorance is like a delicate exotic fruit. Touch it and the bloom is gone. The whole theory of modern education is rampantly unsound. Fortunately, in England at any rate, education produces no effect whatsoever. If it did, it would prove a serious danger to the upper classes and probably lead to acts of violence in Grosvenor Square. What is your income?
Between 7,000 and 8,000 a year.
In land or in investments?
Investments, chiefly.
That is satisfactory. What between the duties expected of one during one's lifetime and the duties exacted from one after one's death, land has ceased to be either profit or pleasure. It gives one position and prevents one from keeping it up. And that's all that can be said about land.
I have a country house with some land, of course, attached to it. About 1,500 acres, I believe. But I don't rely on it for my real income. In fact, as far as I can make out, the poachers are the only people who make anything out of it.
A country house. How many bedrooms? Well, that point can be cleared up afterwards. You have a townhouse, I hope. A girl with a simple, unspoiled nature like Gwendolen could hardly be expected to reside in the country.
I own a house in Belgrave Square, but it is let by the year to Lady Bloxham. Of course, I can get it back whenever I like, at 6 months' notice.
Lady Bloxham? I don't know her.
Oh, she goes about very little. She is a lady quite advanced in years.
Oh, well, nowadays that is no guarantee of respectability of character. What number in Belgrave Square?
149.
Ah, the unfashionable side. I thought there was something. However, that can easily be altered.
Do you mean the fashion or the side?
Both, if necessary, I presume. What are your politics?
Well, I'm afraid I really have none. I am a liberal unionist.
They count as Tories. They dine with us or come by in the evenings at any rate. Now, to minor matters. Are your parents living?
I have lost both my parents.
Both? To lose one parent, Mr. Worthing, may be regarded as a misfortune. To lose both looks like carelessness. Who was your father? He was evidently a man of some wealth. Was he born into what the radical papers call the purple of commerce, or did he rise from the ranks of the aristocracy?
I am afraid I don't really know. I said I had lost my parents, Lady Bracknell. It would be near the truth to say my parents seem to have lost me. I don't really know who I am by birth. I was found.
Found?
The late Mr. Thomas Cardew, a very charitable and kindly gentleman, found me and gave me the name of Worthing. He happened to have a first-class ticket to Worthing in his pocket at the time. Worthing is a place in Sussex. It is a seaside resort.
Where did this charitable gentleman who had a first-class ticket to a seaside resort find you?
In a handbag.
Handbag?
Yes, Lady Bracknell, a handbag, a rather large old handbag with leather handles to it. An ordinary handbag, in fact.
In what locality did this Mr. James or Thomas Cardew come across this ordinary handbag?
In the cloakroom at Victoria Station. It was given to him in mistake for his own.
The cloakroom at Victoria Station?
Yes, the bride man.
The line is immaterial. Mr. Worthing, I confess I am somewhat bewildered by what you have just told me. To be born, at any rate bred, in a handbag, whether it had handles or not, seems to me to display a contempt for the ordinary decencies of family life. It reminds one of the worst excesses of the French Revolution. And I presume you know what that unfortunate movement led to. As for the locality in which the handbag was found, a cloakroom in a railway station might serve to conceal a social indiscretion, and probably has indeed been used for that purpose before now. But it can hardly be regarded as an assured basis for a recognized position in good society.
May I ask you then what you would advise me to do? I need hardly say I would do anything in the world to ensure Gwendolyn's happiness.
I would strongly advise you, Mr. Worthing, to try and acquire some relations as soon as possible, and to make a definite effort to produce, at any rate, one parent of either sex before the season is quite over.
I don't know how I could possibly manage to do that. I can produce the handbag at any moment. It is in my closet at home. I really think that should satisfy you, Lady Bracknell.
Me, sir? What has it to do with me? You can hardly imagine that Lord Bracknell and I would ever dream of allowing our only daughter, a girl brought up with the utmost care, to marry into a cloakroom and form an alliance with a parcel. Good morning, Mr. Worthing.
Good morning. Oh, don't play that ghastly tune, Algy. How idiotic you are.
Did it go off all right, old boy? You don't mean to tell me that Gwendolyn refused you? Oh, there's a way she has. She's always refusing people. It's most ill-natured of her.
Oh, Gwendolyn is right as a trivet. As far as she is concerned, we are engaged. Her mother is perfectly unbearable. I never met such a gorgon in my life. I don't know what a gorgon is like, but I'm quite sure she is one. At any rate, she is a monster without being a myth, which is rather unfair. I beg your pardon, Algy. I probably shouldn't talk about your aunt in that way before you.
My dear sir, I love hearing my relations abused. It is the only thing that makes me put up with them. Relations are a tedious pack of people who don't have the remotest knowledge on how to live, nor the slightest instinct on when to die.
Nonsense.
Oh, it isn't.
I won't argue with you about the matter. You always want to argue about things.
Well, that's exactly what things are originally made for.
If I thought that, I would shoot myself. Algy, you don't think there's any chance of Gwendolyn becoming like her mother in about 150 years or so, do you?
All women become like their mothers. That's their tragedy. No man does, that's his.
Is that clever?
It's perfectly phrased, and quite as true as any observation in modern life should
I am
be.
sick to death of cleverness. Everybody is clever nowadays. You can't go anywhere without meeting clever people. It's become an absolute public nuisance. I wish to goodness we had a few fools left.
We have.
I should very much like to meet them. What do they talk about?
The fools? Oh, about the clever people, of course.
What fools?
That reminds me. Did you manage to tell Gwendolyn the truth about you being Earnest in town and Jack in the country?
My dear boy, the truth is not the sort of thing one tells to a sweet, nice, refined girl. What extraordinary ideas you have about the way to behave to a woman.
Oh, the only way to behave to a woman is to make love to her if she's pretty and to someone else if she's plain.
That is nonsense.
Well, what about your brother? What about the profligate Earnest?
Oh, before the end of the week I shall have got rid of him. I'll say he died in Paris suddenly of apoplexy. Lots of people die suddenly of apoplexy, don't they?
Yes, my dear sir, but it's hereditary. The sort of thing that runs in families. You'd much better say he died of a severe chill.
A severe chill isn't hereditary or anything of that kind.
Of course not.
Very well. My poor brother Ernest was carried off suddenly in Paris by a severe chill. That gets rid of him.
Oh, but I thought you said that, well, your Miss Cardew was a little too interested in Ernest. Won't she feel his loss a great deal?
Oh, that is all right. Cecily is not a silly romantic girl, I'm glad to say. She has a capital appetite, goes long walks and pays no attention at all to her lessons.
Oh, I should like to meet this Cecily.
I would take very good care you never do. She is excessively pretty and she is only just 18.
Oh, does Gwendolyn know that you have an excessively pretty ward who's only just 18?
One doesn't just blurt these things out to people. Cecily and Gwendolyn are quite sure to be perfectly great friends. I will bet you anything you like that half hour after they have met, they will be calling each other sister.
Women only do that when they've called each other a lot of other things first.
That is nonsense.
Well, it doesn't matter in any case. If we're going to get a good table at Willis's, we really must go and change. Don't you know it's almost nearly 7?
It always is nearly 7.
Well, I'm hungry.
I never knew you when you weren't.
What should we do after dinner? Shall we go to the theatre?
Oh no, I loathe listening.
Oh, well, we might go to the club.
Oh no, I can't bear talking.
Well, we might take a trot around to the Empire at 10.
Oh no, I hate looking at things. It is so silly.
Well then, what shall we do?
Nothing.
It's an awful lot of work doing nothing. However, I don't mind work when there's no definite object of the kind.
Miss Fairfax.
Gwendolyn, upon my word.
Algy, I have something very particular to say to Mr. Worthing. Kindly turn your back.
Really, Gwendolyn, I don't think I can allow this at all.
Algy, you always adopt a strictly immoral attitude toward life. You are not old enough to do that.
My own darling.
Oh, Ernest, we may never be married. From the expression on Mamma's face, I fear we never shall. Few parents nowadays pay any regard to what their children say to them. The old-fashioned respect for the young is fast dying out. Whatever influence I may have had over Mamma, I lost at the age of 3. But, although she may prevent us from becoming man and wife, and although I may marry someone else, and marry often, nothing she can say will ever alter my eternal devotion to you.
Dear Gwendolyn.
The story of your romantic origin, as related to me by Mamma, with unpleasing comments, has naturally stirred the deeper fibres of my being. Your Christian name has an irresistible fascination. The simplicity of your character makes you exquisitely incomprehensible to me. Your town address at the Albany I have. What is your address in the country?
The Manor House, Walton, Hertfordshire.
There is a good postal service, I suppose. It may be necessary to do something desperate. That will, of course, require careful consideration. I shall communicate with you daily.
My own one.
How long do you remain in town?
Till Monday.
Good. Algy, you can turn round now.
Thanks, I've turned around already.
And you can ring the bell.
You will let me see you to your carriage, my own darling.
Oh, certainly.
I will see Miss Fairfax out.
Yes, sir.
A glass of sherry, Lane?
Yes, sir.
Tomorrow, Lane. I'm going to Bunbury.
Yes, sir.
I won't be back till Monday. You can put all my dress clothes, my smoking jacket, all my Bunbury suits.
Yes, sir.
I hope tomorrow will be a fine day, Lane.
It never is, sir.
Lane, you're a perfect pessimist.
I do my best to give satisfaction, sir.
Now there's a sensible, intellectual girl. The only girl I ever cared for in my life. What on earth are you so amused at?
Oh, I'm just a little anxious about poor Bunbury, that's all.
If you don't take care, your friend Bunbury will get you into a serious scrape someday.
I love scrapes. They are the only things that are never serious.
That is nonsense. You never talk anything but nonsense.
Nobody ever does.
Surely such a utilitarian occupation as the watering of flowers is rather Milton's duty than yours. Especially at a moment when intellectual pleasures await you. Your German grammar is on the table. Pray open it to page 15 and we will repeat yesterday's lesson.
But I don't like German. It isn't at all a becoming language. I know perfectly well I look quite plain after my German lesson.
Child, you know how anxious your guardian is that you should improve yourself in every way. He laid particular stress on your German as he was leaving for town yesterday. Indeed, he always lays stress on your German when he's leaving for town.
Dear Uncle Jack is so very serious. Sometimes he is so serious, I think he cannot be quite well.
Your guardian enjoys the best of health, and his gravity of demeanour is especially to be commended in one so comparatively young as he is. I know no one with a higher sense of duty and responsibility.
I suppose that is why he often looks a little bored when we three are together.
Cecily, I am surprised at you. Mr. Worthing has many troubles in his life, and idle merriment and triviality would be out of place in his conversation. You must remember his constant anxiety about that unfortunate young man, his brother.
I do wish Uncle Jack would allow that unfortunate young man, his brother, to come down here sometime. We might have a good influence over him, Miss Prism. I'm sure you certainly would. You know German and geology and things of that kind influence a young man very much.
I do not know that even I could produce any effect on a character that, according to his own brother's admission, is irretrievably weak and vacillating. Indeed, I do not know that I would desire to reclaim him. I am not in favour of the modern mania for turning bad people into good people at a moment's notice. As a man sows, so let him reap. Cecily, I really do not see why you should keep a diary at all.
I keep a diary in order to enter the wonderful secrets of my life. If I didn't write them down, I should probably forget all about them.
Memory, my dear Cecily, is the diary that we all carry about with us.
Yes, but it usually chronicles the things that haven't happened and couldn't possibly have happened. I believe that memory is responsible for all the 3-volume novels that Moody sends us.
Oh, do not speak slightingly of the 3-volume novel, Cecily. I wrote one myself in younger days.
Did you really, Miss Prism? How wonderfully clever you are. I hope it didn't end happily. I don't like novels that end happily. They depress me so much.
The good ended happily, and the bad unhappily. That is what fiction means.
I suppose so, but it seems very unfair. And was your novel ever published?
Alas, no. The manuscript, unfortunately, was abandoned. I use the word in the sense of lost or mislaid. To your work, child, these speculations are profitless.
But I see dear Dr. Chasuble coming up through the garden.
This is indeed a pleasure.
And how are we this morning, Miss Prism? You are, I trust, well.
Miss Prism had just been complaining of a slight headache. I think it would do her so much good to have a stroll with you in the park, Dr. Chasuble.
Cecily, I have not mentioned anything about your headache.
No, dear Miss Prism, I know that. But I felt instinctively you had one. Indeed, I was thinking about that, and not at all about my German when the rector came in.
I hope, Cecily, you are not inattentive.
Oh, I'm afraid I am.
That is strange. Were I fortunate enough to be Miss Prism's pupil, I would hang upon her lips. I spoke metaphorically. My metaphor was drawn from bees. Mr. Worthing, I suppose, has not returned from town yet.
We do not look for him until Monday afternoon.
Ah, yes, he usually likes to spend his Sundays in London. He's not one of those whose sole aim is enjoyment. As, by all accounts, the unfortunate young man his brother seems to be. But I shall not disturb Egeria and her pupil any longer.
Egeria? My name is Letizia, Doctor.
A classical allusion merely, drawn from the pagan authors. I shall see you both, no doubt, at evensong.
I think, dear doctor, I will take that stroll with you. I find I have a headache after all.
Oh.
And a walk might do it good.
With pleasure, Miss Prism, with pleasure. We might go as far as the schools and back.
Oh, that would be delightful. Cecily, you will read your political economy in my absence. The chapter on the fall of the rupee you may omit. It is somewhat too sensational. Even these metallic problems have their melodramatic side.
Horrid political economy. Horrid geography. Horrid German.
Mr. Ernest Worthing has just driven over from the station. He has brought his luggage with him.
Mr. Ernest Worthing, B4, the Albany W. Uncle Jack's brother. Did you tell him Mr. Worthing was in town?
Yes, miss. He seemed very much disappointed. I mentioned that you and Miss Prism were in the garden. He said he was anxious to speak to you privately for a moment.
Ask Mr. Ernest Worthing to come here. I suppose you had better talk to the housekeeper about a room for him.
Yes, miss.
I have never met any really wicked person before. I feel rather frightened. I am so afraid he'll look just like everyone else. He does!
You are my little cousin Cecily, I'm sure.
You must be under some strange mistake. I am not little. In fact, I believe I am more than usually tall for my age. But I am your cousin Cecily. You, I see from your card, are Uncle Jack's brother, my cousin Ernest. My wicked cousin Ernest?
Oh, I'm not really wicked at all, cousin Cecily. You mustn't think that I'm wicked.
If not, then you've certainly been deceiving us all in a very inexcusable manner. I hope you've not been leading a double life, pretending to be wicked and being really good this whole time. That would be hypocrisy.
Well, I guess I have been rather reckless.
I'm glad to hear that.
In fact, now that you mention the subject, I have been very bad in my own small little way.
I don't think you should be so proud of that, though I'm sure it must have been pleasant.
It is much pleasanter being here with you.
I can't understand how you are here at all. Uncle Jack won't be back till Monday afternoon.
That is a great disappointment. I am obliged to go up by train on Monday morning. There's a business appointment I'm anxious to miss.
Couldn't you miss it anywhere but in London?
No, the appointment is in London.
Well, I know how important it is not to keep a business engagement if anyone wants to retain any sense of the beauty of life. But still, I think you had better wait till Uncle Jack arrives. I know he wants to speak to you about your immigrating.
Oh, about my what?
You're immigrating. He's going up to buy your outfit.
Oh, I certainly wouldn't let Jack buy my outfit. He has no taste in neckties at all.
I don't think you will require neckties. Uncle Jack is sending you to Australia.
Australia? I should die.
Well, he said at dinner on Wednesday night, you would have to choose between this world, the next world, and Australia.
Well, the accounts I have received from Australia and the next world are not particularly encouraging. No, this world isn't good enough for me, cousin Cecily.
Yes, but are you good enough for it?
I am afraid I'm not. Which is why I would like you to reform me. You might make it your mission if you don't mind.
I'm afraid I've no time this afternoon.
Well, you don't mind my reforming myself this afternoon?
It is rather quixotic of you, but I think you should try.
Thank you, I will. I feel better already.
You are looking a little worse.
Yes, well that is because I am hungry.
How thoughtless of me. I should have remembered when one is going to lead an entirely new life, one requires regular and wholesome meals. Won't you come in?
Thank you. Might I have a buttonhole first? I never have an appetite unless I've had a buttonhole first.
A carnation?
I'd sooner have a pink rose.
Why?
Well, because you are like a pink rose, Cousin Cecily.
I don't think it's right for you to talk to me like that. Miss Prism never says such things to me.
That Miss Prism is a short-sighted old lady. You are the prettiest girl I ever saw.
Miss Prism says all good looks are a snare.
They are a snare that every sensible man would like to be caught up in.
Oh, I wouldn't care to catch a sensible man. I shouldn't know what to talk to him about.
You are too much alone, dear doctor. You should get married. A misanthrope I can understand. A womanthrope, never.
Oh, believe me, I do not deserve so neologistic a phrase. The precept, as well as the practice of the primitive church, was strictly against matrimony.
Well, that is obviously the reason why the primitive church has not lasted up to the present day. And you do not seem to realize, dear doctor, that by persistently remaining single, a man converts himself into a permanent public temptation. Men should be more careful. This very celibacy leads weaker vessels astray.
But is a man not equally attractive when married?
No married man is ever attractive. Except to his wife.
And often I'm told, not even to her.
That depends on the intellectual sympathies of the woman. Maturity can always be depended on. Ripeness can be trusted. Young women are green. I spoke horticulturally. My metaphor was drawn from fruits. But where is Cecily?
Oh, perhaps she followed us to the schools and...
Mr. Worthing.
Mr. Worthing?
Miss, I think this is indeed a surprise, and we did not look for you until Monday afternoon.
I have returned sooner than I expected. Dr. Chasuble, I hope you are well.
Dear Mr. Worthing, I trust this garb of woe does not betoken some terrible calamity.
My brother.
Oh,
Your brother, Earnest?
Dead.
oh,
Your brother Earnest dead?
Quite dead.
oh. This should be a lesson for him. I hope he will profit by it.
Mr. Worthing, allow me to offer you my condolence. You have at least the consolation of knowing that you were always the most generous and forgiving of brothers.
Poor Ernest. He had many faults, but it is a sad, sad blow.
Very sad indeed. Were you with him at the end?
No, he died abroad, in Paris in fact. I had a telegram last night from the manager of the Grand Hotel.
Was the cause of death mentioned?
A severe chill, it seems.
As a man sows, so shall he reap.
Charity, dear Miss Prism, charity. None of us are perfect. I myself am peculiarly susceptible to drafts. Will the interment take place here?
No, he seems to have expressed a desire to be buried in Paris.
In Paris! Well, I fear that hardly speaks to any soundness of mind at the end. You would no doubt wish me to make some slight allusion to this tragic domestic affliction next Sunday. My sermon on the meaning of manna in the wilderness can be adapted to almost any occasion, joyful, as in the present circumstance, distressing. I have preached it at harvest celebrations, christenings, confirmation, days of humiliation, and festal days. The last time I delivered it was in the cathedral as a charity sermon on behalf of the Society for the Prevention of Discontent Among the Upper Orders. The bishop who was there was quite struck by some of the analogies I drew.
You mentioned christenings, I think, Dr. Chasuble. I suppose you know how to christen all right. I mean, of course, you aren't continually christening.
It is, I regret to say, one of the dear rector's more constant duties in this parish. I have often spoken to the poorer classes on the subject. But they don't seem to know what thrift is.
Is there a particular infant in whom you are interested, Mr. Worthing? Your brother was, I believe, unmarried, was he not?
Oh, yes.
People who live entirely for pleasure usually are.
But it is not for any child, dear doctor, no. I'm quite fond of children. The fact is, I would like to be christened myself. This afternoon, if you have nothing better to do.
But surely, Mr. Worthing, you have been christened already.
I don't remember anything about it.
Have you grave doubts on the subject?
I certainly intend to have. But I don't know if the thing would bother you in any way, or if you think I am a little too old now.
Oh, not at all, not at all. Sprinkling. Indeed, the immersion of adults is a perfectly canonical practice.
Immersion?
Ah, no need for apprehension. A sprinkling is all that is necessary, and indeed, I think advisable. Our weather is so changeable. When would you like this ceremony performed?
Oh, I might trot round about 5, if that would suit you.
Oh, perfectly, perfectly. In fact, I have 2 similar ceremonies to perform at that time. A case of twins that occurred in one of the outer cottages on your own estate. Poor Jenkins, the carter, a most hard-working man.
I don't see much fun in being christened along with other babies. It would be childish. Would 5:30 do?
Oh, admirably, admirably. And now, dear Mr. Worthing, I will not intrude any longer on this house of sorrow. I would only beg you not to be too bowed down by grief. What appears bitter trials are often blessings in disguise.
It seems to me to be a blessing of an extremely obvious kind.
Uncle Jack! Oh, I am pleased to see you. But what horrid clothes you've got on. Do go and change them.
Cecily!
My child, my child.
Uncle Jack, do look happy. You look as if you had a toothache. And I've got such a surprise for you. What do you think is in the dining room? Your brother!
Who?
Your brother Ernest. He arrived about a half hour ago.
What? What nonsense. I haven't got a brother.
Oh, don't say that. However badly he may have behaved to you in the past, he is still your brother. You couldn't be so heartless as to disown him. I'll tell him to come out, and you will shake hands with him, won't you, Uncle Jack?
These are very joyful tidings.
After we had all become resigned to his loss, this sudden return seems to me peculiarly distressing.
My brother is in the dining room. I don't know what it all means. I think it is perfectly absurd.
Oh, good heavens! Oh, Brother John! I have come down from town to tell you that I am very sorry for all the trouble that I have given you, and I plan to lead a better life in the future.
Uncle Jack, you're brother's hand, are you?
Nothing will induce me to take his hand. I think his coming down here disgraceful, and he knows perfectly well why.
Uncle Jack, do be nice. There is some good in everyone. Ernest has just been telling me all about poor Mr. Bunbury when he goes to visit so often. And surely there must be much good in one who leaves the pleasures of London to sit by a bed of pain.
So, he's been talking about Bunbury, has he?
Yes, Ernest has told me all about poor Mr. Bunbury and his terrible state of health.
Well, I won't have him talk to you about Bunbury or anything else. It is enough to drive one perfectly frantic.
Well, of course I admit that all the trouble is on my side, but I must say I find Brother John's coldness to me peculiarly distressing. I was expecting a more enthusiastic welcome, especially since this is the first time I've come here.
Uncle Jack, if you don't shake hands with Ernest, I shall never forgive you.
Never forgive me.
Never, never, never.
Then this is the last time I shall ever do it.
It is pleasant, is it not, to see so perfect a reconciliation? I think we might leave the two brothers together.
Cecily, you will come with us.
Certainly, Miss Prism. My little task of reconciliation is over.
Yes, you have, dear child.
We must not be premature in our judgments.
I feel very happy.
You young scoundrel, Archie. You must get out of this place as soon as possible. I don't allow any Bunburying here.
I have put Mr. Earnest's things in the room next to yours, sir. I suppose that is all right?
What?
Mr. Earnest's luggage, sir. I have unpacked it and put it in the room next to yours.
His luggage?
Yes, sir. 3 portmanteaus, a dressing case, 2 hat boxes, and a large luncheon basket.
I'm afraid I can only stay for a week at a time.
Merriman, order the dog cart at once. Mr. Ernest has suddenly been called back to town.
Yes, sir.
What a fearful liar you are, Jack. I have not been called back to town at all.
Yes, you have.
I haven't heard anyone call me. Huh.
Your duty as a gentleman calls you back.
My duties as a gentleman has never interfered with my pleasures in the smallest degree.
I can quite understand that.
Well, Cecily is a darling.
You are not to talk of Miss Cardwell that way. I don't like it.
Well, I don't like your clothes. You look perfectly ridiculous in them. Why on earth don't you go up and change? It is perfectly absurd to be in mourning for a man who's actually staying with you for a whole week in your house as a guest. I call it grotesque.
You are not staying with me for a whole week as a guest or anything else. You have got to leave by the full 5 train.
Well, I certainly won't leave you so long as you're mourning. It would be most unfriendly. If I were mourning, you would stay with me, I suppose. I should think it very unkind if you didn't.
Well, will you go if I change my clothes?
Yes, if you're not too long about it. I've never seen anyone take so long to dress, and with such little result.
Well, at any rate, that is better than being always overdressed as you are.
If I am occasionally a little overdressed, I make up for it by being always immensely overeducated.
Your vanity is ridiculous. Your conduct an outrage, and your presence in my garden utterly absurd. However, you've got to catch the 4:05, and I hope you'll have a pleasant journey back to town. This Bunburying, as you call it, has not been a great success for you.
Well, I think it's been a great success. I'm in love with Cecily, and that is everything. No, he's gone to order the dog cart for me.
Is he going to take you for a nice drive?
No, he's going to send me away.
Then have we got to part?
Indeed. It is a very painful parting.
It is always painful to part from people whom one has known for a very brief space of time. The absence of old friends one can endure with equanimity, but even a momentary separation from anyone to whom one has just been introduced to is almost unbearable.
Thank you.
The dog cart is at the door, sir.
It can wait, Mary Lynn, for 5 minutes.
Yes, miss.
Cecil, I hope I shan't offend you if I state quite frankly and openly that you seem to me to be in every way the visible personification of absolute perfection.
Your frankness does a great credit, Ernest. If you will allow me, I will copy your remarks into my diary.
Do you really keep a diary? I'd give anything to look at it, may I?
Oh, no. You see, it is merely a collection of a young girl's thoughts and impressions, and consequently meant for publication. I hope when it appears in volume form you will order a copy. Pray, don't stop, Ernest. I delight in taking down from dictation. I have reached absolute perfection. You can go on. I'm quite ready for more. Don't cough, Ernest. When one is dictating, one should speak fluently and not cough. Besides, I don't know how to spell cough.
Cecily, ever since I first looked upon your wonderful and incomparable beauty, I have dared to love you wildly, passionately, devotedly, hopelessly.
I don't think you should tell me that you love me wildly, passionately, devotedly, hopelessly. Hopelessly doesn't seem to make much sense, does it?
Cecily.
The dog cart is waiting, sir.
We'll tell it to come around next week at the same hour.
Yes, sir.
Uncle Jack would be very much annoyed if he knew you were staying on till next week at the same hour.
Oh, I don't care about Uncle Jack. I don't care for anyone in the whole world but you. I love you, Cecily. You will marry me, won't you?
You silly boy, of course. We've been engaged for the last 3 months.
For the last 3 months?
Yes, it'll be 3 months from Thursday.
But darling, how did we become engaged?
Well, when Uncle Jack first confessed to us that he had a younger brother who was very wicked and bad, you, of course, have formed the chief topic of conversation between myself and Miss Prism. And of course, a young man who is much talked about is always very attractive. One feels there must be something in him after all. I dare say it was rather foolish of me, but I fell in love with you, Ernest.
Darling. And when was our engagement actually settled?
On the 14th of February last. Worn out by your entire ignorance of my existence, I determined to end the matter one way or another. And after a long struggle with myself, I accepted you under that dear old tree there. The next day, I bought this little ring in your name. And here's the bangle with true lover's knot I promised you always to wear.
Oh, did I give you this? It's very pretty, isn't it?
Yes, you've wonderfully good taste, Ernest. It's the excuse I've always given for you leading such a bad life. And here's the box in which I keep all your dear letters in.
My letters? But my own sweet Cecily, I've never given you any letters.
You need hardly remind me of that, Ernest. I remember only too well I was forced to write yours for you. I wrote 3 times a week, sometimes oftener.
Oh, do let me read them, Cecily.
Oh, I couldn't possibly. They would make you far too conceited. The 3 you wrote me after I broke off our engagement are so beautiful and so badly spelled that even now I can hardly read them without crying a little.
But you mean to tell me our engagement was broken off?
Of course it was. On the 22nd of March last. You may see the entry if you like. Today I broke off my engagement with Ernest. I feel it is better to do so. The weather continues charming.
But why on earth did you break it off? What had I done? I had done nothing at all, Cecily. I am very much hurt indeed to hear that you broke it off, particularly when the weather was so charming.
Well, it wouldn't have been a really serious engagement if it hadn't been broken off at least once. But I forgave you before the week was over.
What a perfect angel you are, Cecily.
You dear romantic boy. I hope your hair waves naturally.
Yes, darling, with a little help from others.
I'm glad to hear that.
You'll never break off our engagement again, will you, Cecily?
I don't think I could, now that I've actually met you in person. Besides, there's the question of your name.
Yes, of course.
You mustn't laugh at me, darling, but it had always been a girlish dream of mine to love someone by the name of Ernest. There's something about that name that seems to inspire absolute confidence. I pity any poor married woman whose husband isn't called Ernest.
But, my child, you mean to tell me that you couldn't love me if I had some other name?
But what other name?
Ah, any name you like. Algernon, for instance.
But I don't like the name of Algernon.
Well, my own sweet, loving little darling, I don't see why you should object to the name of Algernon. It is not at all a bad name. In fact, it is a rather aristocratic name. Half the chaps who go to bankruptcy court are called Algernon. But seriously, Cecily, if my name was Algie, you couldn't love me?
I might respect you, Ernest. I might admire your character, but I fear I shouldn't be able to give you my undivided attention.
Cecily, your rector here, I suppose, is thoroughly experienced in all the rites and ceremonies of the church.
Oh yes, Dr. Chasuble is a most learned man. He has never written a single book, so you can imagine how much he knows.
I must see him at once upon a most important christening. I mean, on most important business.
Oh,
I shan't be away for more than half an hour.
considering that we have been engaged since February the 14th, today's the first day I've met you, I think it is rather hard that you should leave me for so long a period as half an hour. Wouldn't you make it 20 minutes?
I will be back in no time.
What an impetuous 4 years. I like his hair so much. I must enter his proposal in my diary.
Miss Fairfax has just called to see Mr. Worthing on very important business, Miss Fairfax states.
Isn't Mr. Worthing in his library?
Mr. Worthing went off in the direction of the rectory some time ago.
Pray, ask the lady to come out here. Mr. Worthing is sure to be back soon, and you can bring tea.
Yes, miss.
Miss Fairfax. I suppose one of the many good elderly women who are associated with Uncle Jack and his philanthropic work. I don't like women who are involved in philanthropic work. I think it is so forward of them.
Miss Fairfax.
Pray, let me introduce myself. My name is Cecily Cardew.
Cecily Cardew? What a sweet name. Something tells me we are going to be great friends. I like you already more than I can say. My first impressions of people are never wrong.
How nice of you to like me so much after a comparatively short time. Pray sit down.
I may call you Cecily, may I not?
With pleasure,
And you will always call me Gwendolen, won't you?
if you wish.
Then it is all quite settled, is it not?
I hope so.
Perhaps now would be a favourable opportunity for my explaining who I am. My father is Lord Bracknell. You've never heard of Papa, I suppose?
I don't think so.
Outside of the family circle, Papa is, I am glad to say, almost entirely unknown. And I think that is quite as it should be. The home seems to me to be the proper sphere for the man. And of course, once a man begins to neglect his domestic duties, he becomes painfully effeminate, does he not? I don't like that. It makes men so very attractive. Cecily, Mamma, whose views on education are remarkably strict, has raised me to be very short-sighted. It is part of her system. So, would you mind that I'm looking at you through my glasses?
Oh, not at all, Gwendolyn. I am fond of being looked at.
You are here for a short visit, I suppose?
Oh, no. I live here.
Oh? Your mother, no doubt, or some female relative of advanced years, lives here also?
Oh, no. I have no mother, nor any living relations.
Indeed.
My guardian, with the help of Miss Prism, has the arduous task of looking after me.
Your guardian?
Yes, I am Mr. Worthing's ward.
Oh, it is strange. He never mentioned to me that he had a ward. How secretive of him. He grows more interesting hourly. I am not sure, however, that this news inspires me with feelings of unmixed delight. I am fond of you, Cecily. I've liked you ever since I met you. But I feel bound to state that now that I know you are Mr. Worthing's ward, I cannot help but expressing a wish that you were, well, just a little bit older than you appear to be, and not so very alluring in appearance. In fact, if I may speak candidly,
Pray do. I believe that when anyone has something rather unpleasant to say, one should be quite candid.
then to speak with perfect candor, Cecily, I wish you were fully 42 and more than usually plain for your age. Ernest has a strong, upright nature. He is the very soul of truth and honour. Disloyalty would be as impossible to him as deception. But even men of the noblest possible moral character are still extremely susceptible to the influence of the physical charms of others. Modern, no less than ancient history provides us with many most painful examples of what I refer to. Indeed, were it not so, history would be quite unreadable.
I beg your pardon, Gwendolyn. Did you say Ernest?
Yes.
Oh, but it is not Mr. Ernest Worthing who is my guardian. It is his brother, his elder brother.
He never mentioned to me that he had a brother.
I'm sorry to say they have not been on good terms for a long time.
Ah, that accounts for it. In fact, now that I think of it, I've never heard any man mention his brother. The subject seems distasteful to most men. Cecily, you have lifted a load from my mind. I was growing almost anxious. It would have been terrible if a cloud had been allowed to come across a friendship such as ours, would it not? Of course, you are quite certain that it is not Mr. Ernest Worthing who is your guardian.
Quite sure. In fact, I am going to be his.
I beg your pardon?
Dearest Gwendolyn, there's no reason why I should make a secret of it to you. Our little county newspaper is sure to chronicle the fact next week. Mr. Ernest Worthing and I are engaged to be married.
My dear Cecily, there must be some slight error. Mr. Ernest Worthing is engaged to me. The announcement will appear in the Morning Post by Saturday at the latest.
I'm afraid you are under some misconception. Ernest proposed to me exactly 10 minutes ago.
That is certainly very curious, for he asked me to be his wife yesterday afternoon at 5:30. If you would care to verify this. I never travel anywhere without my diary. One should always have something sensational to read on the train. I am so sorry if it is any disappointment to you, dear Cecily, but I'm afraid I have the prior claim.
It would distress me more than I can tell you, dear Gwendolyn, if it caused you any mental or physical anguish. But I feel bound to point out that since Ernest proposed to you, he has clearly since changed his mind.
The poor fellow has been entrapped into any foolish promise. I will consider it my duty to rescue him at once with a firm hand.
Whatever unfortunate entanglement my dear boy may have gotten into, I will never reproach him with it after we are married.
Do you refer to me, Miss Cardew, as an entanglement? You are presumptuous. On occasions such as these, it becomes more than a moral duty to speak one's mind. It becomes a pleasure.
Do you suggest, Miss Fairfax, that I entrapped Ernest into an engagement? How dare you? This is no time for wearing the shallow mask of manners. When I see a spade, I call it a spade.
I am glad to say that I have never seen a spade. It is obvious our social spheres are widely different.
Shall I lay tea here as usual, miss?
Yes, as usual.
Are there any interesting walks in the vicinity, Miss Cardew?
Oh, yes, a great many. From one of the hills quite close, one can see 5 counties.
5 counties? I shouldn't like that. I hate crowds.
I suppose that is why you live in town, Miss Fairfax?
Quite a well-kept garden this is, Miss Cardew.
So glad you like it, Miss Fairfax.
I had no idea there were any flowers in the country.
Oh, well, Miss Fairfax, as people are in London.
Personally, I don't understand how anybody manages to live in the country, if anybody who's anybody does. The country always bores me to death.
Ah, this is what the newspapers call agricultural depression, is it not? I believe the aristocracy are suffering very much from it just at the present moment. It is almost an epidemic amongst them. Tea, Miss Fairfax?
Thank you. Detestable girl, but I require tea.
Sugar?
No, thank you. Sugar is not fashionable anymore.
Cake or bread and butter?
Bread and butter, please. Cake is rarely seen in the best houses nowadays.
Hand that to Miss Fairfax.
You have filled my tea with lumps of sugar. And although I asked most distinctly for bread and butter, you have given me cake. I am known for the gentleness of my disposition and the extraordinary sweetness of my nature, but I warn you, Miss Cardew, you may go too far.
To save my poor, innocent, trusting boy from the machinations of any other girl, there are no lengths to which I would not go.
From the moment I saw you, I distrusted you. I felt you were false and deceitful. I am never deceived in such matters. My first impressions are invariably right.
It seems to me, Miss Fairfax, that I am trespassing on your valuable time. No doubt you have many other calls of a similar character to make in the neighborhood.
Oh, Ernest! My own Ernest!
Gwendolyn, darling.
A moment. May I ask if you were engaged to this young lady?
To dear little Cecily? Of course not. What could have put such an idea into your pretty little head?
Thank you. You may.
I thought there must be some misunderstanding, Miss Fairfax. The gentleman whose arm is currently around your waist is my guardian, Mr. John Worthing.
I beg your pardon.
That is Uncle Jack.
Jack! Oh!
Yes, Ernest.
My own love.
A moment. May I ask if you are engaged to that young lady?
To what young lady? Oh, good heavens, Gwendolyn!
Yes, Gwendolyn. I mean to Gwendolyn.
Of course not. What could have put such an idea into your pretty little head?
Thank you. You may.
I felt there was some slight error. The gentleman who is embracing you is my cousin, Mr. Algernon Moncrief.
Algernon Moncrief? Are you called Algernon?
I cannot deny it.
Ew.
Is your name really John?
I could deny it if I liked. I could deny anything if I liked. But certainly my name is John. It has been John for years.
A gross deception has been practiced on both of us.
My poor wounded Cecily.
My sweetheart Gwendolyn.
You will call me sister, won't you?
There is one question I would like to be allowed to ask my guardian.
An excellent idea. Mr. Worthing, there is just one question I would like to ask you. Where is your brother Ernest? We are both engaged to be married to your brother Earnest, so it is a matter of some importance to us where your brother Ernest is at present.
Gwendolyn, Cecily, it pains me very much to be forced to speak the truth. It is the first time in my life that I have ever been reduced to this painful position, and I am really quite inexperienced at doing anything of the kind. However, I will tell you quite frankly that I have no brother Ernest. I have no brother at all. I never had a brother in my life, and I haven't the smallest intention of ever having one in the future.
No brother at all?
None.
Had you never a brother of any kind?
Never, not even of any kind.
I'm afraid it's quite clear, Cecily, that neither of us is engaged to be married to anyone.
It is not a very pleasant position for a young girl to suddenly find herself in, is it?
Let us go into the house. They would hardly venture come after us there.
No, men are so cowardly, aren't they?
This ghastly state of things is what you call bumburying, I suppose?
Yes. And a wonderful bumbury it has been. The most wonderful bumbury I've ever had in my life.
Well, you have no right whatsoever to bumbury here.
That is absurd. One has a right to bumbury anywhere one chooses. Every serious bumburyist knows that.
Serious bumburyist? Good heavens!
Well, one must be serious about something if one is to have enjoyment in life. What you're serious about, I haven't the slightest idea. About everything I should fancy. Like such a trivial nature.
The only small satisfaction I have in the whole of this wretched business is that your friend Bunbury is quite exploded. You won't be able to run down to the country quite so often as you used to do, dear Algy, and a very good thing too.
Your brother is a little off colour, isn't he, Jack? You'll be able to scamper up to town as often as your wicked custom was, and not a bad thing either.
And as for your conduct towards Miss Cardew, I think you're taking in a sweet, simple, innocent girl like that quite inexcusable, to say nothing of the fact that she is my ward.
I can see no possible defence to you deceiving a brilliant, clever, thoroughly experienced young lady like Miss Fairfax, to say nothing of the fact that she's my cousin.
I am wanting to be engaged to Gwendolyn, that is all. I love her.
Well, I wanted to be engaged to Cecily. I adore her.
There's certainly no chance of your marrying Miss Cardew.
Well, I don't think there's much likelihood, Jack, in you and Miss Fairfax being united.
Well, that is no business of yours.
If it was my business, I wouldn't talk about it. It's very vulgar to talk about one's business. No one does, except for stockbrokers and people like that.
How you can calmly sit there eating muffins when we are in this horrible trouble, I can't make out. You seem to me to be perfectly heartless.
Well, I cannot eat muffins in an agitated manner. The bud would probably get on my cuffs. One must eat muffins quite calmly. It's the only way to eat them.
I say it is perfectly heartless you're eating muffins at all under the circumstances.
When I am in trouble, eating is the only thing that consoles me. Indeed, when I am in really great trouble, as anyone who knows me intimately will tell you, I refuse everything but food and drink. And at present moment, well, I'm eating because I'm unhappy.
That is no reason why you should eat them all in that greedy way.
My dear sir, I wish you would have a tea cake instead. I don't like tea cake.
Good heavens! I suppose a man may eat his own muffins in his own garden.
But you said it was perfectly heartless to eat a muffin.
I said it was perfectly heartless of you under the circumstances. That is a very different thing.
Well, that may be, but muffins are the same.
Good heavens! Algy, I wish you would go.
I can't go anywhere without having dinner first. It's absurd. I never go anywhere without having dinner. No one ever does, except for vegetarians and people like that. Besides, I have just made arrangements with Dr. Chasuble to be christened at 5:45 under the name of Earnest.
My dear fellow, the sooner you give up this nonsense, the better.
I made arrangements this morning with Dr. Chasuble to be christened myself at 5:30. Naturally, I would take the name of Earnest. Gwendolen would wish it. We can't both be christened Earnest. It is absurd. Besides, I have a perfect right to be christened if I like. There's no evidence at all that I have ever been christened by anybody. I should think it highly probable that I never was, and so does Dr. Chasuble.
It is entirely different in your case. You have been christened already.
Well, yes, but I haven't been christened in years.
Have been christened. That is the important thing.
Quite so. So I know my constitution can stand it. If you're not quite sure of ever having been christened, I dare say I think it dangerous you venture upon it now. It might make you quite unwell. You cannot have forgotten that someone very closely connected to you was almost nearly carried off in Paris by a severe chill.
Yes, but you said yourself that a severe chill was not hereditary.
I know, but I dare say this now. Scientists are always making wonderful discoveries in this.
That is nonsense. You are always talking nonsense.
Jack, you're at the muffins again. I wish you wouldn't. There are only a couple left.
But I hate tea cake.
Why on earth do you allow to be served up for your guests? What ideas you have of hospitality.
Algernon, I have told you to go. I don't want you here. Why don't you go?
I haven't finished my tea yet. Besides, there's just one muffin left.
The fact that they did not follow us at once into the house, as anyone else would have done, seems to me to show they have some sense of shame left.
They have been eating muffins. That looks like repentance.
They don't seem to notice us at all. Couldn't you cough?
But I haven't got a cough.
They're looking at us. What effrontery.
They're approaching. It's very forward of them.
Let us preserve a dignified silence.
Certainly. It is the only thing to do now.
This dignified silence seems to produce an unpleasant effect.
one.
But we will not be the first to speak.
Certainly not.
Mr. Worthing, I have something very particular to ask you. Much depends on your reply.
Gwendolen, your common sense is invaluable. Mr. Moncrief, kindly answer me the following questions. Why did you pretend to be my guardian's brother?
So that I may have the opportunity of meeting you.
That certainly sounds like a satisfactory explanation, does it not?
Yes, dear, if you can believe him.
I don't, but that does not affect the wonderful beauty of his answer.
True. In matters of grave importance, style, not sincerity, is the vital thing. Mr. Worthing, what explanation can you offer to me for pretending to have a brother? Was it in order that you might come up to London to see me as often as possible?
Can you doubt it, Miss Fairfax?
I have the gravest doubts upon the subject, but I intend to crush them. This is not the moment for German scepticism. Their explanations seem quite satisfactory to me, especially Mr. Worthing's. That has the stamp of truth upon it.
I am more than content with what Mr. Moncrief told me. His voice alone inspires one with absolute credulity.
Then you think we should forgive them?
Yes. I mean, no.
True. There are principles at stake that one cannot surrender. But which of us should tell them? The task is not a pleasant one.
Could we not both speak at the same time?
An excellent idea. I very nearly always speak at the same time as other people. Will you take the time for me?
Certainly.
Your Christian names are still an insuperable barrier. That is all.
Our Christian names? Is that all? But we're going to be christened this afternoon.
For my sake, you are prepared to do this terrible thing?
I am.
For me, you are ready to face this fearful ordeal?
I am.
How absurd it is to talk of equality of the sexes. Where questions of self-sacrifice are concerned, men are infinitely beyond us.
We are!
They have moments of physical courage of which we women know absolutely nothing.
Darling.
Darling.
Lady Bracknell!
Oh, good heavens!
Gwendolen, what does this mean?
Merely that I am engaged to be married to Mr. Worthing, Mamma.
Come here. Sit down. Sit down immediately. Hesitation of any kind is a sign of mental decay in the young and physical weakness in the old. Apprised, sir, of my daughter's sudden flight by her trusty maid, whose confidence I purchased by means of a small coin, I followed her at once by a luggage train. Her unhappy father, I am glad to say, is under the impression that she is attending a more than usually lengthy lecture by the University Extension Scheme on the influence of a permanent income on thought. I do not propose to undeceive him. Indeed, I have never undeceived him on any question. I would consider it wrong. But of course you will clearly understand that all communication between yourself and my daughter must cease immediately from this moment. On this point, as indeed on all points, I am firm.
I am engaged to be married to Gwendolen, Lady Bracknell.
You are nothing of the kind, sir. Now, as regards Algernon. Algernon.
Yes, Aunt Augusta.
May I ask if it is in this house that your invalid friend, Mr. Bunbury, resides?
No, Bunbury doesn't live here. Bunbury lives somewhere else entirely. In fact, Bunbury's dead.
Dead? When did Mr. Bunbury die? His death must have been extremely sudden.
Well, I killed Bunbury this afternoon. I mean, Bunbury died this afternoon.
What did he die of?
Oh, Bunbury? Well, he quite exploded.
Exploded? Was he the victim of a revolutionary outrage? I was not aware that Mr. Bunbury was interested in social legislation. If so, he is well punished for his morbidity.
He was found out. I mean, the doctors found out that he could not live, is what I mean to say. So let me down.
He seems to have had great confidence in the opinion of his physicians. I am glad, however, that he made up his mind at the last on some definite course of action and acted under proper medical advice. Now that we have finally got rid of that Mr. Bunbury, may I ask, Mr. Worthing, who is that young person whose hand my nephew Algernon is now holding in what seems to me a peculiarly unnecessary manner?
That lady is Miss Cecily Cardew, my ward.
I'm engaged to marry Cecily, Aunt Augusta.
I beg your pardon?
Mr. Moncrief and I are engaged to be married, Lady Bracknell.
I do not know if there's something peculiarly exciting in the air in this particular part of Hertfordshire, but the number of engagements that go on seem to me considerably above the proper average that statistics has laid down for our guidance. I think some preliminary inquiry on my part would not be out of place. Mr. Worthing, is Miss Cardew at all connected with any of the larger railway stations in London? I merely desire information. Before yesterday, I had no idea that there were any families or persons whose origin was a terminus.
Miss Cardew is the granddaughter of the late Mr. Thomas Cardew of 149 Belgrave Square, SW. Gervais Park, Dorking, the Surrey, and the Sporn, Fiefshire, NB.
That sounds not unsatisfactory. 3 addresses always inspires confidence, even in tradesmen. But what proof have I of their authenticity?
I have carefully preserved the court guides of the period. They're open to your inspection, Lady Bracknell.
I have known strange errors in that publication.
Miss Cardew's family solicitors are Messieurs Markby, and Markby.
Markby, and Markby. Oh, a firm of the very highest position in their profession. Indeed, I am told that one of the Mr. Markbys is occasionally seen at dinner parties. So far, I am satisfied.
That is very kind of you, Lady Bracknell. I also have in my possession, you will be pleased to hear, certificates of Miss Cardew's birth, baptism, registration, whooping cough, vaccination, confirmation, and the measles. Both the German and the English variety.
Ah, a life crowded with incident, I see. Perhaps somewhat too exciting for a young girl. I myself am not in favour of premature experiences. Gwendolyn, the time approaches for our departure. We have not a moment to lose. As a matter of form, Mr. Worthing, I'd better ask you if Miss Cardew has any little fortune.
Oh, about £130,000 in the funds, that is all. Goodbye, Lady Bracknell, so pleased to have seen you.
A moment, Mr. Worthing. £130,000, and in the funds? Miss Cardew seems to me a most attractive young lady, now that I look at her. Few girls of the present age have any really solid qualities. Any of the qualities that last and improve with time. We live, I regret to say, in an age of surfaces. Come here, my dear. Pretty child. Though your dress is sadly simple, and your hair seems almost as nature might have left it. We can soon alter all that. A thoroughly experienced French maid produces a really marvelous result in a very brief space of time. I remember recommending one to the young lady Lancing. After 3 months, her own husband did not know her.
After 6 months, nobody knew her.
Kindly turn round, sweet child. No, the side view is what I want. Yes, quite as I expected. There are distinct social possibilities in your profile. The two weak points of our age are want of principle and want of profile. Chin a little higher, dear. Style depends largely on the way the chin is worn, and they are worn very high just at the present. Algernon.
Yes, Aunt Augusta.
There are distinct social possibilities in Miss Cardew's profile.
Cecily is the sweetest, dearest, prettiest girl in the whole world. I don't care twopence about social possibilities.
Never speak disrespectfully of society, Algernon. Only people who can't get into it do that. My dear child, of course you must know that Algernon brings nothing but his debts to depend on. I do not approve of mercenary marriages. When I married Lord Bracknell, I had no fortune of any kind, but I never dreamed for a moment of allowing that to stand in my way. But I suppose I must give my consent.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
Cecily, you may kiss me.
Thank you, Lady Bracknell.
You may also address me as Aunt Augusta for the future.
Thank you, Aunt Augusta.
The marriage, I think, had better take place quite soon.
Oh, thank you, Aunt Augusta.
Thank you, Aunt
To
Augusta.
speak frankly, I am not in favor of long engagements. They give people the opportunity of finding out each other's character before marriage, which I think is never advisable.
I beg your pardon for interrupting you, Lady Bracknell, but this engagement is quite out of the question. I am Miss Cardew's guardian, and she cannot marry without my consent until she comes of age. That consent I absolutely decline to give.
Upon what grounds, may I ask? Algernon is an extremely, I may almost say an ostentatiously eligible young man. He has nothing but looks, everything. What more can one desire?
It pains me very much to have to speak to you frankly, Lady Bracknell, about your nephew. But the fact is, I do not approve at all of his moral character. I suspect him of being untruthful.
Ha! Untruthful? My nephew, Algernon? Impossible! He's an Oxonian.
I fear there can be no possible doubt about the matter. This afternoon, during my temporary absence in London, on an important question of romance, he obtained admission to my house by means of the false pretense of being my brother. Under an assumed name, he drank, I've just been informed by my butler, an entire pint bottle of Perrier Jouet, Brut, 89, wine which I was specially reserving for myself. Continuing his disgraceful deception, he succeeded in the course of the afternoon in alienating the affections of my only ward. He subsequently stayed to tea and devoured every single muffin. And what makes his conduct all the more heartless is that he knew perfectly well from the first that I have no brother, that I never had a brother, and that I don't intend to have a brother, not even of any kind. I distinctly told him so myself yesterday afternoon.
Mr. Worthing, after careful consideration, I've decided entirely to overlook my nephew's conduct to you.
That is very generous of you, Lady Bracknell. However, my decision is unalterable. I absolutely decline to give my consent.
Come here, dear child. How old are you?
Well, I'm really only 18, but I always admit to 20 when I go to evening parties.
You are perfectly right in making some slight alteration. Indeed, no woman should ever be quite accurate about her age. It looks so calculating. 18, but admitting to 20 at evening parties. Well, it won't be long before you are of age and free from the restraints of tutelage. So I don't think your guardian's consent is, after all, of any importance.
I beg your pardon for interrupting you again, Lady Bracknell. However, it's only fair to tell you that according to the terms of her grandfather's will, Miss Cardew does not come of age, legally, until she is 35.
That does not seem to me to be a grave objection. 35 is a very attractive age. London society is full of women of the very highest birth of who, of their own free choice, have remained 35 for years. Lady Dumbleton is an instance in point. To my own knowledge, she has been 35 ever since she arrived at the age of 40, which was many years ago now. So I don't see why our dear Cecily may not be even still more attractive at the age you mentioned than she is at present. And there will be a large accumulation of property.
Algie, could you wait till I was 35?
Of course I could, Cecily. You know I could.
Yes, I felt instinctively you could, but I couldn't wait all that time. I hate waiting even 5 minutes for anybody. It makes me rather cross. I'm not punctual myself, I know, but I like punctuality in others. Waiting, even to be married, is quite out of the question.
Well, then what is to be done, Cecily?
I don't know, Mr. Moncrief.
My dear Mr. Worthing, as Miss Cardew states positively that she cannot wait until she is 35, a remark which I am bound to say seems to show a somewhat impatient nature, I beg of you to reconsider your decision.
My dear Lady Bracknell, the matter is entirely in your own hands. The moment you consent to my marriage to Gwendolen, I will gladly allow your nephew to form an alliance with my ward.
You must be quite aware that what you propose is out of the question.
Then a passionate celibacy is all that any of us can look forward to.
That is not the destiny that I propose for Gwendolen. Algernon, of course, can choose for himself. Come, dear, we've missed the last 5, if not 6 trains. To miss any more might expose us to comment on the platform.
Everything is quite ready for the christenings.
The christening, sir? Is not that somewhat premature?
But both these gentlemen have expressed an immediate desire for baptism.
Their age? The idea is grotesque and irreligious. Algernon, I forbid you to be baptized. I won't hear such excesses. Lord Bracknell would be highly displeased if he learned that was the way you were wasting your time and money.
Am I to understand there are to be no christenings at all this afternoon?
I don't think that as things are now, there would be any practical value to either of us, Dr. Chasuble.
I am grieved to hear such sentiments from you, Mr. Worthing. They savor the heretical views of the Anabaptists. Views that I have completely refuted in 4 of my unpublished sermons. However, since your mood today is peculiarly secular, I shall return to the church immediately, for I have just been informed by the pew opener that for the last hour and a half, Miss Prism has been waiting for me in the vestry.
Miss Prism? Did I hear you mention a Miss Prism?
Yes, Lady Bracknell, I'm off to join her now.
Pray, allow me to detain you for a moment. This matter may prove to be one of vital importance to Lord Bracknell and myself. Is this Miss Prism a female of repellent aspect, remotely connected with education?
She is the most cultivated of ladies and the very picture of respectability.
Is obviously the same person. May I ask what position she holds in your household?
I am a celibate, madam.
Miss Prism, Lady Bracknell, has been for the last 3 years Miss Cardew's esteemed governess and valued companion.
In spite of what I hear of her, I must see her at once. Let her be sent for.
She approaches. She is nigh.
I was told you were expecting me in the vestry, dear doctor. I've been waiting for you 1 hour and 3/4.
Prism! Come here, Prism! Prism! Where is that baby? 38 years ago, Prism, you left Lord Theodore Bracknell's house at number 104 Upper Grosvenor Street, in charge of a perambulator that contained a baby of the male sex. You never returned. A few weeks later, through the elaborate investigation of the Metropolitan Police, the perambulator was discovered at midnight, standing by itself in a remote corner of Bayswater. It contained the manuscript of a 3-volume novel of more than usually revolting sentimentality. But the baby was not there. Prism, where is that baby?
Lady Bracknell, I admit with shame that I do not know. I only wish I did. The plain facts of the case are these. On the morning of the day that you mention, a day that is forever branded on my memory, I prepared, as usual, to take the baby out in its perambulator. I had also with me a somewhat old but capacious handbag in which I had intended to place the manuscript of a work of fiction that I had written during my few unoccupied hours. In a moment of mental abstraction, for which I can never forgive myself, I deposited the manuscript in the bassinet and placed the baby in the handbag.
But where did you deposit the handbag?
Oh, do not ask me, Mr. Worthing.
This is a matter of no small importance to me. I insist on knowing where you deposited the handbag that contained that infant.
I left it in the cloakroom of one of the larger railway stations in London.
What railway station?
Victoria, the Brighton line.
I must retire to my room for a moment. Gwendolyn, wait for me here.
If you are not too long, I will wait here for you all my life.
What do you think this means, Lady Bracknell?
Dare not even suspect, Dr. Chasuble. I need not tell you that in families of high position, strange coincidences are not supposed to occur. They are hardly considered the thing.
Braxton's strangely agitated.
Your guardian has a very emotional nature.
Noise is extremely unpleasant. It sounds as if he was having an argument. I dislike arguments of any kind. They are always vulgar and often convincing.
It has stopped now.
I wish you would arrive at some conclusion.
The suspense is terrible. I hope it will last.
Is this the handbag, Miss Prism? Examine it carefully before you speak. The happiness of more than one life depends on your answer.
This seems to be mine. Ah, here is the injury it received from the upsetting of a Gower Street omnibus in younger and happier days. Oh, and here is the stain on the lining from the explosion of a temperance beverage. And an incident that occurred at Leamington. And here, on the lock are my initials. Oh, I had forgotten that in an extravagant mood I had them placed there. The bag is undoubtedly mine. I am delighted to have it so unexpectedly restored to me. It has been a great inconvenience being without it all these years.
More is restored to you than this handbag. I was the baby you placed in it.
You?
Yes, Mother.
Oh, Mr. Worthing, I am unmarried.
Unmarried? I do not deny that is a serious blow. But after all, who has the right to cast a stone against one who has suffered? Cannot repentance wipe out an act of folly? Why must there be one law for men and another for women? Mother, I forgive you.
Mr. Worthing, there is some error. There is the lady who can tell you who you really are.
Lady Bracknell, I hate to seem inquisitive. Kindly inform me who I am.
I'm afraid that the news I have to give you will not altogether please you. You are the son of my poor sister, Mrs. Moncrief, and consequently, Algernon's elder brother.
Algy's elder brother? Then I have a brother after all. I always said I had a brother. Cecily, how could you have ever doubted I had a brother? Dr. Chasuble, my unfortunate brother. Miss Prism, my unfortunate brother. Gwendolyn, my unfortunate brother. Algy, you must treat me with more respect in the future. You've never behaved to me like a brother in all your life.
Well, not to today, old boy, I admit. I did my best, though I was a little out of practice.
My own? But what one are you? What is your Christian name now that you have become someone else?
Good heavens, I've quite forgotten that point. Your decision on the subject of my name is irrevocable, I suppose.
I never change, except in my affections.
Then the question had better be cleared up at once. Aunt Augusta, a moment. At the time when Miss Prism placed me in the handbag, had I been christened already?
Every luxury that money could buy, including christening, was lavished on you by your fond and doting parents.
But I had been christened. That is settled. Now, what name was I given? Let me know the worst.
Being the eldest son, you were naturally christened after your father.
Yes, but what was my father's Christian name?
I do not at the present moment recall what the general's Christian name was, though I have no doubt he had one. He was eccentric, I'll admit, but only in later years, and that was the result of the Indian climate and marriage and indigestion and things of that kind.
Algy, can't you recollect our father's Christian name?
My dear fellow, we weren't really on speaking terms. He died when I was a year old.
His name would appear in the army list of the period, I suppose, Aunt Augusta.
The general was essentially a man of peace, except in his domestic life. I have no doubt that you would find his name in any military directory.
The army lists of the last 40 years are here. These delightful records should have been my constant study. Here. N generals. Malum, Maxbom, Magley. What ghastly names they have. Markby, Migsby, Mobbs, Moncrief, Lieutenant 1840, Captain, Lieutenant Colonel, Colonel, General 1869, Christian names. Ernest John. I always told you, Gwendolyn, that my name was Ernest, didn't I? But naturally, my name is Earnest. Of course it is.
I now remember that the general was called Earnest. I always knew I had a particular reason for disliking that name.
My own Ernest. I felt from the first that you could have no other name.
It is a painful thing for a man to find that all his life he's been speaking nothing but the truth. Can you forgive me?
I can, for I feel that you are sure to change.
My own one.
Letitia!
All right. At last.
Cecily, at last!
Gwendolyn, at last!
My nephew, you seem to be displaying signs of triviality.
On the contrary, Aunt Augusta, I've now realized for the first time in my life the vital importance of being earnest.